Hi everyone, I'm Loris Owen and I'm going to read to you today from my very first book, The 10 Riddles of Eartha Quicksmith. Did you expect Quicksmith to be like this? Asked Kip, stabbing a breakfast pea that was trying not to be eaten. No way, it's much better than I expected, replied Albert, through a mouthful of 2-inch pizza topping. Even the baked beans are more beany here. They both stopped mid-bite when Leela walked up to their table, pulled up a chair and sat down. Her mouth started moving and words were coming out, but Kip had no idea what she was saying. All he could do was stare at what she had brought with her, for sitting on a gauntlet that went all the way up to her shoulder was the weirdest thing he had ever seen. "What is that?" said Albert slowly, uncurling his forefinger into a point. "What?" said Leela innocently. "Do I have something on my face?" "No," said Albert. "Actually, you have something on your shoulder. And, hello, what is it?" It stood about as high as Kip's fork and was made up entirely of black feathers and wispy fur and enormous orange eyes with long eyelashes. Its chubby body wasn't quite a square and wasn't quite a circle, and the creature seemed to have no neck at all. "Oh, that's just the Mowl," said Leela, as if she got asked that all the time, which she probably did. "Mowl," echoed Kip and Albert, together. "Yes, Mowl," she said, as though that explained everything they would ever need to know about Mowls. "And make sure you say his name right or he gets really huffy. Just remember this. How now, Brown Mowl?" There was a moment's silence before Kip and Albert both burst out laughing. The Mowl looked up from his enthusiastic interest in Leela's earring to stare at them sulkily. "You better not upset him," Leela warned, stroking the plush black fur of the Mowl's tummy. "Half of him is cute and fluffy, but the other half can have quite a temper." The Mowl made a lirip noise, somewhere between a kitten's purr and a pigeon's coo, and burped. "Its tail looks like a furry burnt sausage," Albert managed to splutter between giggles. "Those eyes are nearly bigger than its head," said Kip. "Is that a beak?" There was a clatter of cutlery on the next table. In response, the Mowl produced a melodious rumble that could only be described as a warble. "Look, it has hands," Kip said. "They're like little otter hands." The Mowl looked around lazily and stretched its tufty legs that ended in glinting talons. Its deaf brown hands hovered for a second, some sharp claws poked out of its fingertips, and it began to comb Leela's hair. "Where did it come from?" Albert asked. "He. At least I think he's a he. Guess, and if you get it right, I'll tell you," said Leela. "You hatched an egg you found," said Kip. The Mowl hopped off Leela's shoulder and poked with one claw at a baked bean on Albert's plate. "You smooshed 5 animals together. Baby penguin, otter, mole, a fat blackbird, something with giant eyes, a seal cub." The Mowl warbled, and a long, thin orange tongue flicked out to lick the baked bean. "Stranded alien. Dinosaur." "Well, I suppose that's good enough," said Leela. "I was in the lab late, catching up on a project one night. Pretty dull, dating some old bones from the Quicksmith Museum with a time tagger." Hearing his favourite subject mentioned, Albert looked even more interested and tried to ask a question. But the Leela storytelling train had left the station. "Anyway, there was this freak electromagnetic blizzard. A weird glow came from the storage room that was full of all sorts of equipment, conductors, batteries, amplifiers, that sort of stuff. Before I could open the door, a huge blast blew me off my feet, and when I looked up, the bones from the museum were gone, and there was the Mowl. The first thing he did was burp and scratch his tummy just like he's doing now. I swear he understands me. We still don't know exactly what happened. Probably something to do with some faulty equipment. And we don't know exactly what he is either." "But you're allowed to keep him?" asked Albert, finally managing to get in a question. "Well, of course," said Leela. "Someone had to look after him." And it was love at first sight.